I came across this story a few days ago. Another case of a grown man murdering a child. 36-year-old Kreig Butler out of Columbus, Ohio, opened fire, shooting twice, once in his hand and once in his chest. A 13-year-old boy by the name of Sinzae Reed. Butler would hop inside his truck and pull off. This fatal shooting occurred on October 12th, 2022, just a few months ago, and unfortunately, we are just now hearing about this if you live out of the state of Ohio. Days later, Butler was arrested, but he was released by simply saying it was self-defense. So basically, in Ohio, you could go around and kill anybody, get arrested, and just say, oh, it was self-defense, and they should let you go. But keep in mind, it may have something to do with the color of your skin, whether or not you will be allowed to leave the police station. Because at this time, February 12th, 2023, no charges have been pressed against him. Though witnesses say when they saw this tragic crime as it played out, that Butler just shot him 3 times and just left. So who is Kreig Butler besides a man I actually thought was a lot older? He's only 36 years old, and he stays at this apartment complex. Now, due to the articles that I've read, Butler and Sinzae's family all stay at the Wedgwood apartment complex. They all reside there. Now, there is no way that I am making fun or ridiculing somebody's living conditions. I would never. I myself, since I was 17 years old, I have lived on my own, and some of the places were not the best places that I've lived. It wasn't due to my financial situation. Unfortunately, everything right now goes on your credit. So you not only do you have to have good credit, but you have to have the money to be able to get into places that are a little bit better. And sometimes they don't go side by side. You may have the money, but not the good credit. And those were my conditions a lot. I had the money, but not the good credit. So my living conditions were not that great, I have to admit. So again, I'm not putting down the people that live at this apartment complex, but I want you to understand and get a feel of what was going on there. Because again, I have never, ever made fun of anyone's living conditions, because I, again, have lived in, I can't believe that this happened in my neighborhood. I've lived in places like that. And I would never say, oh, I can't believe that this happened here, because, shit could happen anywhere. It could happen anywhere. So the Wedgwood apartments, they're low income. It's a variety of people that live there. So it's a mixture of races that live there and backgrounds. So the 43228 zip code from 5 years ago, the prior residents were demanding that this apartment complex be burnt down. Not just speaking of the bed bugs and the rodents and the trash. I would think that it would be a housing authority problem, or the property manager would be responsible for this, but they are not responsible for a lot of the homicides that have happened there. These are a few excerpts from what people have said under the reviews of this apartment complex. You can gladly go look for yourself. This is by far the worst apartment complex in the state of Ohio. Most dangerous, 17 homicides since 2017 and over 100 shootings. Someone else said a waste of government money. The only reason why it still exists is because of the government checks. Get rid of these apartments and we will improve our quality of life by 100%. Someone else said, shut down Wedgwood. apartments. Now, there is actually a petition that's going around. Someone said, nothing but a breeding ground for violence. And Butler added to this violence on October 12th. Ohio actually has a law in place as of 2019. A person who shoots and kills someone, they do not have to prove that it was self-defense. They don't have to. They say it's similar to the stand your ground law that protects the one with the gun in their hand. So, besides the fact that this is a 13-year-old boy with a brown complexion, how else was Butler fearing for his life? How else? Megan Reed, this is Sinzae's mother, she believes that it was racially motivated, and she has likened it to the Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman situation. And everyone is familiar with that. Zimmerman he appointed his own self to be part of the neighborhood watch. And as Trayvon, just with Skittles in one hand and tea in the other, was making his way across the lawn to go to his dad's house, Zimmerman told him to stop, even calling the police, and the police told Zimmerman, we'll take care of it. But Zimmerman did a big Karen move, and Zimmerman is not white, I must say, but he did a big Karen move, and he decided to go after Trayvon, and he was pretty much getting his ass handed to him by this 14-year-old boy, and he killed him. But he shot and killed him right there, and we all know what happened after that. But as far as I'm reading in all the articles, Butler never had a physical altercation with Sinzae, where he was losing this fight, so he pulls out his gun. That's not what happened. The witness say he just simply shot the boy and left. Did they exchange words prior? I have no idea. Did they exchange words after? It doesn't matter. He's a child. It doesn't matter. But Megan Reed believes that this was racially motivated. And Butler was arrested, and days later, again, he was released by simply saying that it was self-defense. They just let him go. And as of February 12th, again, he has not been charged at all with anything. So while the grieving woman, Megan Reed, is grieving for her son, she has to also try to get justice for him as well. She says that she wished she could see him again, smell him again, hold him again. But she can't even do anything. She will never get to do that again. This boy will never see his 14-year-old birthday. He will never get to see it because of this man. And she wants to know why. Why did you kill my son? This is really what she wants to know. It just doesn't make sense. An investigator actually called Megan Reed and asked her, do you let your son carry a gun? And she says, no, absolutely not. Now, I have to note that Sinzae did not have a firearm on him at all. There was no firearms left behind, stashed in trees, nothing. So this investigator was trying to put perhaps this initiate out for everybody to say, oh, well, he had a gun. No, he didn't have a gun. He didn't. The only one that had a gun was Kreig Butler. He was the only one with a gun. But we don't know what other problems does Kreig Butler has that he feels that he can just kill someone, hop in your car and walk away. Why? We really need to know this. The Reed family really needs to know this. And that is why I showed the pictures of this complex, because if we're not currently living in those type of areas, we know people that live in those type of areas. It's low income. It's a lot of crime going around. I'm not going to get into it. We all know what type of crimes go on in those areas that become very congested. And I even went on one of Kreig Butler's old Facebook pages. He has two. One is current, and one was dated 2017. He's with a child. I don't know if this is a grandchild or if this is his current child. I have no idea. But I'm sure whatever baby that is, he wouldn't want somebody to open fire on that child and kill that child. And I'm glad I found this picture, because when I looked at his mugshot, I said to myself, you could just see it. You could just see in his face hatred. They have that look. They have that look of hatred. And he is that look right there. That is definitely the poster for that look of hatred, of your life isn't shit. That is that look. I'm sorry, but it is. We see that look all the time, and that is what it is. But he has that look holding this child too. So maybe that's just his face. I don't know. Maybe that is just his face. And, I am going to look more into this story. I really want to know, why would he do something like this to a child that he has no involvement with? They're neighbors. They are neighbors. I, for one, am not really happy about the younger generation. I'm not. I don't have any interaction with really any of them as a whole. I know young people. I have, matter of fact, I have a nephew that's coming to visit me, this summer, and I can't wait. And he's 17. He's 17. So, but it's something else going on there. It's something else. If you don't like what you see, if you don't like your conditions, get out of that area. It takes some time. I've been in those situations. If you don't like your housing, leave. It's ways to leave. Get a job. Get extra hours on your job. Find a better job. It's ways. It takes time, but it's ways. You don't have to live in situations like that. It gets hard, but it's always a way out. And I feel a lot of things happen there because so much stuff slides by. 100 shootings. And now we get to add Butler's shooting onto that list too. It's ridiculous. So yeah, we definitely want justice for Sinzae. Butler needs to be held accountable for what he does. You can't just shoot another person, hop in your car, get arrested, yell, it was self-defense, and now you're just outside riding around your truck? So how many people will he shoot again if this is done this easily? I feel for this Reed family. Justice for Sinzae.